This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 12 in the NLT. What are worthless and wicked people like? They are constant liars, signaling their deceit with a wink of the eye, a nudge of the foot, or the wiggle of fingers. Their perverted heart plot evil, and they constantly stir up trouble. But they will be destroyed suddenly, broken in an instant beyond all hope of healing. There are 6 things Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai hates. No, 7 things he detests. Haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that kill the innocent, a heart that plots evil, feet that race to doing wrong, a false witness who pours out lies, a person who sows discord in the family. Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Rukah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishop, and elders, a great millstone that rule well, and peace and blessings be multiplied on all you brethren that's teaching his word in all sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the elect, 144,000, and the rest of the elect out there, shalom. I'm the brother Dama Agabar with another lesson, Lord willing to edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Yahweh Shai. All right. And this is everything I read defines Esau Edom to a T. You see, and it shows you that the Lord hates everything about this man, his motives, his MO, and everything that he stands for was totally identified in this Proverbs, the 6th chapter, man. And right now we're living in a time to where he's operating on these things in the highest of levels possible, man. All right. They're signaling deceit, man, and, all these different scenarios and these situations that are happening in the world, especially that whole Iran and Israel situation, the whole closing of the Strait of Hormuz is totally steeped in deceit, and evil plots and schemes, It's stirring up trouble. It's stirring up this whole idea of shortages, power outages, energy disruptions, fertilizer, manufactured famines, man. There's a lot of deception that's steeped in that whole Strait of Hormuz situation, and these devils are going to use that situation to manipulate the minds, to bring, hell to the people, to bring higher gas prices, more inflation. Use it, it's going to be used to bring in lockdowns, energy lockdowns, rationing. Pretty soon, it's going to be harder and harder to get fuel, to get gas, to travel, to move, to operate, to have energy, to receive food. And they're going to use it as an excuse to bring in this NWO, man, to bring in rationing, more lockdowns, basically more perplexity and hell upon you people. But it's being presented as just as a reaction to this whole situation of war. It's going to be able to justify America and bombing Iran back to the Stone Age. It's going to be used to bring in war. It's going to be used to, basically be used as a psychological operation to basically, oppress and give this devil more power and more authority over your everyday lives, all of our lives, man. It's all straight up wickedness at the end of the day, man. But like it says in the 15th chapter, but this is why this man is going to be destroyed, And this is why you can't be ignorant to what's really happening. You have to be able to see beyond what's being presented to you in the mainstream news media, Like I said, we understand that it's a spiritual wickedness in high places. It's the hands of these elites that's behind a lot of this shit. Now, of course, are there real bombs dropping? Yes. Are there real people being deleted? Absolutely. But a lot of it is theater. A lot of it is being orchestrated intentionally so that these devils can deceive the majority of the people. And it's going to be used for them to bring chaos and to bring the order out of the chaos, which is this new world order. Digital IDs is going to be used for them to bring in a draft. All type of mischief and wickedness is being cooked up behind this whole situation, man. And this is why you can't be ignorant to this damn devil's devices, man. You have to see the bigger picture behind what's really happening. It's really wickedness and witchcraft and manipulation and corruption behind a lot of it. You see? And what made me do this video, because I saw this article from CNBC, and the whole time I was reading it, I'm just like, these devils is running, like this is just the everything I was just reading in Proverbs, the 6th chapter. This is their evil being practiced, and their evil and manipulation and lies and total, is happening right before our eyes. And it says here, we are facing the biggest energy security threat in history, IEA chief tells CNBC. You see? And they're continuously putting this out there because they want you people to be thinking about this. They want to put it in your mind. They want to constantly, repeat this thing over and over and over again, so that the average everyday citizen, when this thing actually happens, they're going to believe that it's actually a result of the war. They're not going to be thinking that, it's being orchestrated behind closed doors, that this situation is being used to the advantage of these elites to bring in their new world order. They're using Trump to be the demolition man to destroy this economic system, to bring more inflation, to bring more, issues to the economy, to eventually to crash the dollar. And this is why he has all those technocrats, Palantir, he's talking about bringing in cryptocurrencies. Now they're talking about you got to have digital ID if you want to have a bank account. And it's all, they're mentioning this at this exact time as this whole situation in this war and the closing of the Strait of Hormuz. That's not a coincidence, man. All of a sudden, now they're talking about bringing in, digital currencies, and now it's going to be, shortages, and now they're saying the power grid is going to go out. It's all part of these devil schemes and plots to bring in this NWO, man. All right, and we're privy to what these devils are doing, but it's just all wickedness right before everybody's eyes. And this is a thing called revelation of the method. They have to tell you what they're going to do before they do it. Now, of course, they're lying. They're giving you some cockamamie reason of why it's happening. But we know ultimately at the end of the day, it's the agenda of these elites. So key points in this article, it says, Byro has previously warned that the Iran war and ongoing closure of the Strait of Hormuz would result in the largest energy crisis we has ever faced. You see, and these elites know that. This is why they're keeping it closed. This is why they're not going to be no peace talks. And they're going to keep telling you people that too. Oh, there's going to be peace negotiations. They're going to have peace talks. One day the strait is open and the next day it's closed. Oh, the ceasefire. Then the ceasefire is violated. It's all psychological operations. They're fucking with your mind, man. And they're trying to create the narrative that, we tried to have peace. We tried to negotiate, but, Iran didn't want to do it. So, the strait is going to be closed and we're not going to suffer long and we're going to get it open. It's all part of these devils. They're playing both sides, man. But it's ultimately what? To bring straightness, to bring more hell to you people, to bring more perplexity, lack of resources, famines, power outages, energy crisis, shortages, long lines at the fuel tank, less imports and exports coming in, energy crisis. All these things are going to be used to the advantage of these elites, man. And they're hoping that you people freak out, that you people go crazy, that chaos ensues so they can bring the order out of it, which is going to be what? CBDCs, digital currencies, 15-minute cities, lockdowns, the new world order. It says an average 20 million barrel of oil and petroleum products were shipped through the strait every day before the war. The waterway is currently under a double blockade. You see, not only is it blocked, now it's a double blockade. Now can't shit get through, which is going to do what? Cause more shortages. It's going to bring more energy security threat. And remember, energy equals food at the end of the day. Energy, power, electricity. Now, this is why you're hearing about in Australia and Asia, they're rationing. You can only get gas on certain days out of the week. Now they're telling people you can't travel as much. Instead of working 5 days a week, you got to work 4 days a week because of the petrol, because the fuel, which is going to lead to what? And who's going to ultimately suffer the most is the average, everyday, poor working class. And then what's that going to lead them to do? Get more frustrated, get more angrier. You see? Everything that they were speaking about in the WEF is coming to pass. And this Strait of Hormuz is a major part of how they're going to lock things down again. All right. It says the waterway is currently under a double blockade, with neither Iran nor the U.S. allowing vessels to enter or exit the channel. See, this old fucker right here. We are facing the biggest energy security threat in history, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it says that we are facing the biggest energy security threat in history. Fatih Birol, the head of the International Energy Agency, or IEA, told CNBC on Thursday. As of today, we lost 13 million barrels per day of oil, and there are major disruptions in vital commodities, he told Steve Hedgwick. Byro has previously warned that the Iran war and ongoing closure of the Strait of Hormuz would result in the largest energy crisis we have ever faced. See, so they're telling you right now what they're going to do. You see, this is the revelation of the method. They're telling you this is what this is going to do. So when it happens, it's already preparing the people to that this is going to happen. But what they're not telling you that is being orchestrated behind closed doors, man. Let me get this, right? That's why you can't be. Let me get this. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. You see? And in the NLT, it says, so that Satan will not outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil schemes. You see? So we ain't stupid, man. We're up on game. And a lot of people are waking up to the fact of that, a lot of this shit is theater. A lot of this shit is being done for a bigger, has a bigger purpose than whatever they're telling you on the mainstream news media. Oh, it's happening because America's being the hero and they got to help Israel because Iran can't have nuclear weapons because they're savages. They're the biggest terror threat on the face of the earth. No, man, it ain't nothing about that. We know that ultimately they want to gain control of Iran. They want to take over that whole region because they want to help those small hats in that greater Israel project, man. They're trying to take over that whole region so that, they can bring in their digital system. That's what they're ultimately doing it. But they're telling you it's because they have to stop the Iranian regime, the savages, from getting nuclear weapons because they'll attack America and they'll attack Israel. The Iranians love bombs. They love bombs going off. They want us, all the bullshit that they're telling you on the mainstream news media. But we know ultimately it's all about this NWO. See? So it says, where was I? Yeah, it says, the largest energy crisis we have ever faced, and urge governments to bolster their resilience with alternative energy sources. Yeah, and it's just gonna give these devils more reason to to bring in for you to have a social credit score, for you to have use carbon credits. Man, it's all part of these devils' scheme, man. And then this is, now that this has happened, it's just going to totally wreck the world, and we're going to need sustainability, Agenda 2030. We have to be more, we have to change the way that we're using, they're going to have a good game cooked up of why, this NWO is going to be needed. And it's going to just further oppress you people and put you more in a digital slavery, man. They're going to restrict your travel. They're going to restrict your access to resources. They're going to give you your CBDCs. Now, this is why you're hearing Elon Musk talking about universal high income. All the talk about how the robots are going to take jobs and this, that, and the third. All this shit is all connected, man. It's all part of these devils' plan, But like I said, they're going to flip it and spin it in a way as if it's going to be for your peace and your safety and for them to save the world that they ultimately fucking destroyed, man. It's all bullshit at the end of the day. It says, what else is in here? Yeah, now they're talking about nuclear power will get a boost. Renewables will grow strongly, solar, wind, and others. And I expect electric cars will benefit from this, right? Because that's all part of the agenda. They want everybody driving electric cars. This is why they're doing away with, trying to bring this gas shortage, because they don't want you driving gas powered cars, especially these older cars that don't have a microchip, that don't have the futuristic technology that they can't hack and control. And this is why they want everybody eventually to have smart cars, because why? They can all be controlled via the system. It's all just one big, lie at the end of the day. What else is in here? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, double blockade bullshit. Yep, it says, describing the strait as one of the world's most critical oil transit choke points, the IEA has warned that the closure will impact global economic growth, spur inflation, and could lead to energy rationing. See? Because this is all what they want at the end of the day anyway. Like I said, they're just using this war as an excuse for, they're using this war as an excuse for them to clamp down on things, man. You see? To stop, so much energy usage from you everyday average people. To be able to have more control, to lock you down, to ration, to bring manufactured scarcity, famines, And they're going to have that eventually in these different countries, especially those Asia countries, and in Africa, they're going to have rationing going on, man. You know, to where it's going to lead to the government have to take control over resources and food and production. And we're going to have to, set up rationing to where, families can only get so much of this, so much of that. It's going to be controlled by the government. And then eventually, in order for you to get your rationing or your CBDCs or your universal basic high income, you're going to have to get the micro C-HIP, the mark of the beast, man. It's all wickedness going on, man. It says the agency has warned of an imminent jet fuel crunch in Europe, with some countries facing shortages within weeks. Europe gets about 75% of its jet fuel from refineries in the Middle East, and this is basically now down to zero. So, yeah, Europe is fucked. And they're going to feel it first before it comes here to America. And those Asian countries, you're going to see it more affected there first before it comes over here to the West. But ultimately, this is the agenda globally. You see? It says Europe is now trying to get it from the U.S. and Nigeria. If we are not able to get in Europe additional imports from the countries now, we will be in difficulties. Yeah. And that's going to give who more control? The government and the powers that be. Like I said, rationing, man. They're going to start rationing goods and services to the people, which is going to leave everybody in the citizens of the people in a more dependent state, to where if you want to get these things and they change the policies of how you can get it, people are just going to have to acquiesce and do whatever it takes for them to get, their daily needs and services from the government, which gives them more control, man. It's all bullshit. It's all their plots and schemes, man. This is why I read that. We're not ignorant to Satan's devices, man. So this is what? This is Psalms 52:2. Thy tongue deviseth mischiefs. I'll read in the NLT. Psalms 52:2 in the NLT. It says, all day long you plot destruction. Your tongue cuts like a sharp razor. You're an expert at telling lies, man. Yeah, this man can flip a lie like a mofo, man. But that's part of Esau's blessing. It's deception, being cunning, presenting himself as an angel of light, but really he's the goddamn devil, man. And this whole situation is all being, presented as it's just, the cause and effect of war, but not knowing that these wars are being orchestrated. They're being controlled. A lot of the, Trump and a lot of these other countries are being told what to do, how to react, when to have a ceasefire, when to break the ceasefire, all these things, It says you love evil more than good and lies more than truth. So that tells you right there, whatever comes out of this man's mouth is more than likely a goddamn lie. But it's being it's a deceptive lie. It's presented as truth, but it's really a damn lie. It says you love to destroy others with your words, you liar. Yeah, Esau's a liar and a father of it. It says, but the Most High will strike you down once and for all. He will pull you from your home and uproot you from the land of the living. And this is what's coming to these damn devils at the end of the day. And this is why we don't have no fear in saying these things, because we know that the Lord has appointed Esau's bounds that he cannot pass. We know that this wickedness and this current age has an expiration date, and it's right at the door. Remember, July 4th is the 250th year of the American Empire. And we know what happens to wicked, indulgent, decadent empires after 250 years, man. It's just like Kanye said, it all falls down, man. But it's going to fall down at the hands of Yahweh Shai when he makes his second return. It says the righteous will see it and be amazed. They will laugh and say, look what happens to mighty warriors who do not trust in the Most High. And that's what we're out there on the highways and the byways telling Esau to his face, man. We're telling them, look, man, like I just said, we know this is why he's going to come down with great wrath. Even he knows he has but a short time. This is why he's moving so quickly and he's moving hastily, because he knows eventually these elites that Yahweh Shai is going to come back and destroy these devils, man. And when they do all these tests, when they do those remote viewings, when they're doing their little black mirror witchcraft sorcery and try to predict the future, it always ends the same, of them not escaping their judgment and their destruction. Because what? The writing is on the wall for this damn devil, man. It says, look what happens to mighty warriors who do not trust in the Most High. They trust their wealth instead and grow more and more bold in their wickedness. You see? So they're trusting in that wickedness, and that wickedness is not going to deliver these devils from the flame and the judgment. And what the Apostle Tahar said earlier, what was it called? Yeah, the gamma blast is going to come and literally melt this damn devil, man. and his military, his might, you know, this precious America, and his whole infrastructure is going to be totally melted and destroyed by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. You see? And what else is in here? Yeah, I hope, first of all, that the strait is open and refining exports start from, and it's not going to open because these devils are going to use this to their advantage. They're not going to let this crisis go to waste. It says, but we may well need to take some measure in Europe to reduce air travel as well. Yeah. Yeah, what is in there? Yeah, we got to mitigate shit. We got to save resources. We got to blah, 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 blah. You know? And this situation is not going to get any better, man. It's only going to continue to escalate and get worse and worse, man. Because ultimately, it's the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. All right. So hey, can't be ignorant to Satan devices, man. We see through all the bullshit, man. But at the end of the day, hey, Esau, do your worst, man. Do what you got to do, so Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai can make his move on your ass, and hey. So we can get the hell up out of here. So with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. All praise and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, you were edified. Until the next one, shalom.